It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
Without a dope beat to step to.
What's going on, y'all? Season 5, Episode 7, The X-Files. This is
Oof.
the Ready to Love After discussion with your host, Jaimi Alexander, and
Gustavo Carr.
hey. Okay, so we had last week off, kind of,
Ish.
because exactly. So it was nice to have a little break, a little moment, digest everything that has happened in the first half of the season, because now it's getting juicy. Now we're starting to see what last season the reveal was the True Colors episode. And from then on, we got to see everybody. I feel like that's what we're getting with this X-Files, because people are upset, people are jealous, people are telling on people for their bad behavior.
Sure. It
We're
was
diving in.
juicy.
It was
It was so juicy. I wasn't
juicy.
expecting all that juice. It was like biting into an apple and just squirting everywhere. And the pure joy of being here. Exactly. Hello, 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 B.
What's going on, B? Thanks for tuning in.
See?
Thank you, girl. This is
Exactly.
the
Right?
au
Exactly.
natural. This is like the shower, the coconut oil, and the let's go live. Hey, I was thinking the same. And Gus
Hey,
looking cute with the man bun.
my little mini man.
Little
Little mini.
man bun, little guy.
I just was
He's
just
cute.
too lazy to do anything else. That's why.
No,
I
I
just
feel
had
you. It
so much
was
product in my hair all week, and my like you're supposed to not like wash it every day, and then I was just like, I'm washing it today, and I'm not putting anything in it. I'm going to utilize the fact that I can put this little baby miniature infant bun up and rock with it tonight. It's one of those days.
I love how we're in the same boat. It's the wash and the relax. We're not going to be
Mm.
doing too much.
No, anybody got time for that?
No, it's Friday. Okay, so you thought the episode was juicy. I like that. What else did you think about the episode overall when it came to meeting the exes?
Not to compare, but to compare from
But to
last
compare,
season. I thought this season was such a better episode from last season's episode of Meeting the Exes. For
mm,
some reason, I felt like the questions that the exes asked were better. Um, it was a little more direct. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not remembering last one, but for some reason, I had the urge to say that. Like, I felt like this one was better than last season. How did you feel about it?
yeah, I thought it was a little bit different. I appreciated it because it did go in depth a little bit more in a particular way. And it seems like there was a little bit more of an effort to make this competition-y. Not for everybody, but a little more. I feel like it was like, play up on that. Why should you be here? What can you get from the ex? Like everybody's intention there, but turned up just a little bit more, if that makes sense. And every area was turned up just a little bit more to like show or prove or ask or so.
Yeah, it felt a little produced, which I liked. It
Okay,
felt a
yeah.
little produced. Some of it felt authentic and real, and some of it felt produced. Um, and it was obvious to me last season. I think the the parts that were trying to be produced were just a little underwhelming. I think this one just at least they came in to still try to like accomplish the goal and mission, like pretend even if it's not really another connection, and try to emerge in a conversation with each other and see, where this goes, and hopefully, regardless, just still learn a little something about yourself and somebody else.
Yeah, and have fun with it. Thanks,
I see you,
Najee.
Afro.
Ah, this is where we are
But
at today. Thank you for the
yeah.
love. What's that little girl? Thank you. It's the afro. Have you seen that cute little meme? Somebody complimented
No.
her hair and she's got to be like 4 years old. She has her lip gloss. Thank you. It's an afro. Okay, she was really cute.
That's adorable.
But yes, I agree. Being a little bit overproduced, not in a bad way. And
Mm-mm.
I mean, like we always say, and we've said this before about last season, isn't the idea to get better? Isn't the idea to evolve the show, get the little dust off of the certain areas, you know what I mean? And polish up in this and do the. So kudos. They saw some things and places and pockets where they could do something more different, be a little more intentional here. I feel like they might have even tuned into the social audience a little bit just to make sure that they got the right combination of energy for each one of these episodes that they laid out.
I feel like they had their fingers immersed in who they were going to pick for their ex to be, as opposed to last season. It was like a little like it just didn't fit. Like, you
Contrived.
know, like some of them didn't fit. Specifically, like Nail Girl with Walter, like she didn't really like that. There was nothing to
Right.
gain from that. There was no information or growth or somebody to see into Walter a little more from that. These people,
Mm-hmm.
at least, I feel like they had a little better hand in choosing those.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So let's dive into Sean and Joy. I mean, I guess I could see how they dated back in the day. She's just such a cool girl that I'm not shocked, that somebody found value in snatching her up. So maybe at a period in time they made sense. And she had Laverne. Wait, you know what? I'm kind of jumping. I'm like, should I say this first? Because the first thing that really happened was Takia and Eric situation.
Yes, yes. We went straight into the dates. So let's talk about the Takia and Eric situation. Let's go there. Let's back
Well,
it up and reverse it really quick.
yeah, let's back it up and reverse it really quick. Um,
I'll go. Um, I first and foremost think it was great that he decided to like own the fact that he's not ready. Because we've been talking
mhm.
about that anyway. We've already kind of
Yeah.
been under that, guys, and understanding like this ain't for him. He's
Mm-mm.
at first. I think he was trying to prove to himself that he was. I think he was, but
Right.
I think he's still afraid. I think he's still using all these other antics to keep him away from what he really wants. He seems a little afraid of it still. I think he still likes being a bachelor. He seems like he's just in question of himself in many areas, if you ask me. Like, I feel like maybe he's exploring his sexual orientation, possibly. Like, I'm just feeling all these types of different energies from him. Maybe he's not, but that's the type of exploration I'm getting from
Right.
him, that he's not really in the space to really, really dive in. And that shocked me because from the beginning, I really thought he was. But we
From
do that
episode
to,
one.
yes, from his first episode on one. And we do that to ourselves, though, don't we, sometimes? Um,
Yeah.
on both hands, we tell ourselves already we're dive into it, and then we realize we're not. And then on the other hand, we kind of do self sabotage a little bit and do things that are purposely going to keep us from getting what we really want. And I think that's what he did with Takia. I think he saw that Takia is very ready and deserving, and he probably felt like he couldn't live up to it, so he tried to sabotage it unconsciously. Because anybody that has been around Takia for 2.4 seconds would know that that isn't something that she would be okay with, to grope her from the back. Now she knows how to be playful and she knows how to stop that banter, but couldn't imagine somebody really thinking like a classy woman like her wanted that type of aggression. And I have a feeling we're not getting all of the story, because I think she enjoys the flirtatious part. She's been very um, forward with her sensuality, which I so much appreciate because she's a grown ass woman. She should be. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel like we're missing like how much it really, really was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that was kind of like my hesitation to even speak in the beginning because it's so many things. It's so and is what it is, but it's also coming from a woman of Takia's stature. So that tells me the level of ignorance that was involved on his end. And, sometimes I blame the alcohol, not blame, but it takes you to that next level sometimes. And I think that was likely playing a part in there. And not to excuse Eric, but just to, when you get a little too loose and, you start to do things and it sounds like it went
Well,
left.
that's kind of a part of it too, I think. When you allow yourself to keep diving in, you're kind of your awareness of the situation is lacking, and therefore you're pushing yourself outside of being present and true and intentional, right? If that shows to me you're not ready. If you can't judge your rations of alcohol to making sure that you're still attentive and present for somebody you are trying to court, and you're using that to make yourself feel more comfortable and to be in that space, then that's
Right.
definitely indicative of someone who's not ready for love at the level that these people are here for.
Yeah, it's really simple. It was a bad judgment call. And
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks,
you know what I
Jamie. Let
mean?
me rant on for an hour and a half, and you're like, really simple, one word. Thanks.
It was a bad judgment call, Eric. And now you gotta go.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah. And everything you said as well.
Yeah,
100%. Najee, you really think Eric is one of the kids?
I do. There's something about him that feels like he is. And we all know a lot of people have a hard time actually being that way, right? Especially in the Black community. Not that I really have I'm queer, so I can say that I've noticed that it's very strong in the Black community, actually. A lot of Black men tend to be closeted. He could also be a very feminine man, sure, but there's something about him that just kind of, because I'm pretty in tune with like someone that's a feminine man energy, and then someone is more of a family, you know what I'm saying? But like kind of like try not to be. Um,
Hmm.
but you know what? It's okay because some people like that. Some women like that actually. So lots of. I always use this example. Lots of gay men love to be able to be like, "Oh well, he was straight, but now he with me." And I think
Right.
that's the same thing for women. I think a lot of women can be like, "Well, he was gay, but now I got him." So like, it's that whole like conquering, that whole
Mm.
you know whatever took toots float your boat,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, there's just something is a little bit on that. Um, yeah, I kind of got that energy if we not want to go now to this next date from actually from Joey's ex too.
I did. I
Yeah,
didn't. I
I
was.
felt like they could have been exes, and then he was like, actually, I'm gay. But they didn't talk about that. But that's kind of the situation I got from them, and I got more of a best friend vibe actually than like intimate vibe
Best
from them.
friends. Best friend
Um,
vibe.
you felt the same way?
Oh, absolutely. It was total. And he was just, he is not Clifton. And he
No,
was really easy quickly to be able to deduce, like, oh, Clifton's your type, and I can see you with that, and blah, 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 blah. Because he is very, I find myself using this word again, but like homegirl. And not to say that he is a, but that, that
that
vibe
vibe,
and
that
that
energy.
chat and that like you talking to them, you might mess around and be like, girl, because you're just spilling off in a different way
Yeah,
towards them. But he was very intuitive. He was spot on. What did you think about
I think he
okay,
called it like he was in the end. I think he was very accurate with how
yes.
he said. What did he say again? Remind me. My brain's a little off. I've been under the weather this week. Sorry,
No,
everybody.
I'm a little off too. I've been indulging and enjoying myself in activities.
I was like, I knew it. I knew it. I was like, that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Um,
So that
he
friend had said that he's felt a little rooted in
and
jealousy,
my
of
notes are on my
course.
phone,
That
so I can't get to them. That's what it is
oh
too.
no,
Sorry,
that's
one more
okay.
time.
That he felt like what Clifton had said was rooted in jealousy, and that Clifton what was it?
Oh,
Laverne.
actually, that's not the part I'm talking
Laverne
about.
was putting mm-hmm,
That's not the part I'm talking about. I was talking not
at
because I
the
was gonna
very
get to
end,
that.
right?
The very end, yeah.
Yeah, because so let me wrap it up and get to that point. But he was talking about how basically Clifton is the obvious best choice, but he's gonna come with some problems. Like it's gonna be hard with him.
Thank you. That's what it was. That's what I wanted you to remind me of, and also Laverne too. Like it did feel like Laverne was definitely there for show. Like at that point, any kind of question I had in my mind, like, do they have a connection? I was like, no. He's just doing this to fulfill productions needs, I think,
Yeah,
of someone else being needed to be there. And he was the one that's like, I'll show up, I don't care. Like no one really knows that much about me. We've seen their friendly banter and they definitely get along as friends, but everything Laverne said seemed very put on, very produced, very fake, so to speak, in terms of intimacy. Um,
mm-hmm.
but he's a good time. Like I enjoy his energy still there. Like the way he handled himself, but it's very obvious. Hello, Clifton. And I didn't think it was fair of I have I didn't think it was fair for her friend to say that Clifton might come with some things. Like I appreciated the fact that he kind of broke him down from a psychological point of view, but at the same time, I'm a little hesitant because I'm like, you're telling him not to live from the space of the past, but you're also kind of judging him from moving into the future because of his past. Like, it was kind of tit for tat, so to speak. Um, if you really believe that someone needs to move forward and not stay back there, then um, I don't know if you would be really concerned with that so much. You wouldn't need to voice it as much as I think you did. I think. Anyway, what did you think about that? Because obviously you feel some way.
I'm taking in everything that you're saying. I just think yes, and the energy that Clifton brought in, I do like that he's very decisive of not being a fan of meeting exes, because I get that. Like, you an ex for a reason. Like, what kind of ex situation is this? Are we calling on holidays? Are you venting emotionally, then slipping and falling on a dick? Like, what do we do? Like, it's a very
100%.
fair, yeah.
It wasn't like jealous. Like it was nobody's like like it was that's why when homeboy was like quick to be like, I'm just letting you know that where you're coming from is jealousy and that's not gonna work for someone like Joy. I was like, ooh, that was a little much. It was a little like, I understand him seeing like the root cause of what you're asking me probably comes from a jealous place. I understand that. Um but he didn't seem to see the other perspective of being like, basically, Clifton was saying, I don't know Joy well enough yet to know if her past situation is going to be a situationship. If I need to make sure that this ex can't be in the situation or not. That's not really a place of jealousy. It's more of a place of concern. So I
And a
felt like his
boundary of his.
yeah, and I think it was a misdiagnosis on Joy's friend, so to speak, for him to still keep pushing that so hard. Does you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel
He's
like, and
protecting himself.
yeah, and that's what boundaries are for, and that's the point of things. So I felt him on that, because so what I could see is, of course, him bringing a little bit of the past into the future, and I think finding his way to make a balance in both of it. Um, and I think he did a good job, because that's something that I think about too. Like, I have questions about this because it comes to my mind in a particular way, whether it's my past or not. I got some questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why it's always important to get more colors and more nuances of a person, because it was that and him just protecting a boundary, protecting himself, having his boundary and letting it be that, and not being afraid to show up as that. Because just because we're all sitting down eating at Ready to Love, how much more am I going to be seeing? What is this? You think just because we not cool? I don't want to. Y'all used to what? We ain't homies.
Well,
Is
yeah,
this
well,
it?
to know right from the jump so that I know if we can be
Where
homies or
we
not,
at?
or where we're at, where's the situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was very masculine and delicious of Clifton to ask that.
Yeah, and I
So he
want
knew how to
yes.
approach the situation at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would I handle it that way? Probably not, but I kind of feel like
Right.
maybe I should.
If that's what you want and it's time to be clear, I'm not mad at it, because that leaves no room for, well, you knew he was
Questions.
my ex and we were cool. No, there's no, I let you know from the gate I wasn't with it.
And
It's
so
not my thing.
if we incur
Mm-hmm.
any situationship after this, that's on you then, because you had your moment to come clean, and I can't really move with you then because I'm not going to be able to trust you.
It will be so telling, right? Najee says, I feel like
Yeah,
Joy's ex is pretty much open to anyone.
yeah, totally. Yeah, those are good acronyms to give him hand by. 100%. He feels that way too. And I feel like Joy probably was like that at one point in her life too.
Maybe had a season.
Yeah. And maybe they seasoned it out together. And Gus, don't you worry, you still
Hmm?
have your Costa Rican tan. I
You
sure do. You can
do.
see that right there. I'm like, I'm
You
trying to back
do.
up so you don't like get like burnt from me. I'm like,
Ah,
shit, I don't want it
no,
to go
we
away.
yeah.
I
You
started
do?
peeling.
Oh,
I don't
island
want it to.
boy.
I want to be an island boy forever.
Please don't peel. I was looking at old pictures of Hawaii, and I was peeling and burnt too from being under
you
that sun.
you got burnt when you went to Hawaii.
I got crisp.
Yeah.
I
And the tan was
crisped.
delicious, but you crisped like I did.
I
Like I can see like
crisped.
my concealer under my eyes because
Oh,
it's too
because you're a
light for the
different
rest
color
of my
now.
red face.
Yeah, yeah. You need a red undertone
But
now.
I'm 40, so I need to put a little concealer under my eyes. So
Well, you look good. You look good, kid. like
Um,
usual. Yeah, so I agree with you. That was Joy, Sean. Yes, Laverne, he was putting on, it was so whatever. Sean picked up on that. But
I'm ready for
yeah,
Clifton and Joy just to like
she is
go.
in love with him.
He's
Like
he's he
they
is,
don't want nobody else, but he just like
and they're doing this
they
for the show.
gosh, ooh, I'd be ready to like devour.
I
I'd
hope
be
they
ready to
are.
devour
I hope
him.
they are when the camera's not rolling. I hope they're
We
fully
never
indulging.
know. We'll never know. It would be hard not to. I wonder if they intentionally keep them away from each other
They are
because
just
it'd
so
be really
cute.
hard not to.
They're
Yeah.
just so cute.
Yeah. They really are.
They fit, and you could see it from that first moment when they
I
sat there. It
know on
was
the
like
bench.
boom, and because I'm doing my dating thing kind of ish a little bit, just a little bit,
Okay.
and it's like like it's so rare.
It
It's really rare
is.
to sit
It's
with somebody and
rare.
just be like boom.
Mm,
hmm The rest of
mm.
the time, you want it to be that, and it's just like yeah. mm,
On the inside, you're like,
Oh, okay. Oh. mm.
yeah, that's
So when you
accurate.
find
So when you do
that
get that, you
especially at
got to
our age,
explore.
it's like,
Hmm.
okay, hold on. And they're on the show, so that's what they came here for, and they gotta, decide to do other things in the meantime. So that was obvious.
Amazing. Yeah,
Production, but still love. Awesome. Who was the next date?
amazing. I'm here for it, and I love every bit of it. Let's see, Vern and Clifton. No, Clifton is a risk. Okay, Ace
Yes. Ace.
and
I mean, if
Devon.
her ex isn't like the male version of her, I don't know what is.
I know, right? I get.
I'm like, how did they not last?
I don't know. He
Too
seemed
similar?
maybe too similar. Maybe just a little too
Too
similar.
much.
Yeah, it's
Um,
too. It's like if I walked in a house with them, it's like I could smell the incense. I see the beads. There's yoga mats
great.
everywhere. It's just like
100, yeah.
not mad at it, but I just can see maybe not forever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you bring the weights, I bring the yoga mats. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like I would walk in and it'd be like,
I love that. I'm here for that 100%.
no, I love it,
Um,
but like to the level where it's like maybe not. Maybe it's too much because it's
yeah,
two
maybe
of
that
them.
season passed of like that whole flow.
Just you know.
Maybe she became allergic to incense since then.
Yeah, basically, they don't like the same brands no more.
No. She
Oh my
busts out in
god!
hives, so they're like, we can't do this anymore. Um, did you find it interesting that he was like, you're told Ace that she's the alpha?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I did.
You so the ex boyfriend said that she was more alpha.
She's the ex-boyfriend said you are the alpha in relationships, and that's how he deciphered which one would be.
That was exactly Laverne versus Tori. I can see that with Ace for sure, but I think maybe it's because more she's quote unquote had to be. But if she did have somebody like Laverne, which I agreed with Devon, his analysis being like, if you want someone to lead, Laverne has that energy that she wouldn't be able to quote unquote dominate like that. But why would she want to? Because he's already like, oh baby, let's go, and he's already on top of that portion of things. So I kind of think it was because of the guy she was with. Again, when we go back to being the same, and it's all yoga mats and all incense and all, there might maybe there's two, maybe that was her role with him. But I can see her being submissive to a Laverne. That's what I'm saying because of
Yeah,
his energy.
I hear you. I just was a little like, because from the jump I've been like, her whole yes, mm, yes dear, yes sweetie, oh yeah, I like that. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. No, I didn't believe it. So when I heard him be like she was an alpha, I'm like, there we go. There's the real colors. Because even as I'm watching the show, I'm starting to see her more and more each episode. And
I
it's
wrote that down.
yes,
I wrote it down. I was like, oh, I see you, Ace. You got a
and
little
it
bit
was
more
just,
going on.
and that's when the beginning, which I was like, oh, it's one of those people. It's like, oh, you're putting on for us to have this image of you. Why don't you just be yourself? You can
But
still
she's
be all
funny.
Zen and universe. Hello, and say fuck. I am. So it's like, you know what I mean. You're starting to hear her be like, ooh. It's like, oh, it was so put on. And it's nice to see her again. But so it was interesting for him to bring that aspect into it as we start to see her and be like, she's the alpha. And I
Good
totally saw
point.
that. But I do think that she needs an alpha more than she needs to
Mm-hmm.
be the alpha. And I
Mm-hmm.
think her ex definitely probably was less of the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably where they bumped heads. That's why they were too much like. She was like, "I'm gonna need you to make choices," and he was like, "But baby, it's whatever you want." And that's when the real
That
her came out.
spirit
She was like,
guide.
"Look, listen,"
We
and then
need to
she's
do
like,
this. We need to go get this money. We need to.
"Yeah, yeah, 100%." It's kind of like Ainjoy, right? Ainjoy is definitely an alpha female, but she's trying to like, "But I'm just so open. I'm not telling you what to do. Get the shrimp curry, but I don't care. You can get whatever you want. If you don't get it, I'll kill you. Thank you. Like, let's go to yoga. Like, it's like."
Time to do yoga.
Let's go to yoga. My band fun. Sorry, Najee. Go ahead, read it.
I find the term alpha to be problematic. Saying she's very dominant would be a better term to me. You know, when people say alpha, I get the word. So we have there's a lot, verbiage is really tricky, but I understand where you're coming from.
I understand where you're coming from because we're definitely in a space and era where it's like
These
literally every
terms
definition is being
is
redefined.
like, yeah.
Some for the good, some for the bad, some for whatever it's going to be what it is. Um,
Alpha, yeah, I get the point.
but I think
But dominant, well,
yeah, I don't know
is that
about
one and the
dominant either
same?
though. I just
Yeah.
think strong maybe if we want to avoid.
Leadership,
Yeah. Um,
strength, taking the
I
lead.
actually don't mind the alpha because the alpha and the beta are just things that have been around for forever, and you don't have to tie
Scientific.
it to a sex, and it doesn't have to be anything more than just someone being a little more, and the other one being a little more. I love that. I personally look for someone that's a little more. I know I am that way,
Me too.
but I like that because then I can be a little more. But then I'll still be like, do your fucking shit, and then his little is gonna come out and be like, great, perfect.
Do your,
Um,
do it, boy,
and
do it.
Jamie's like that too because she likes to pretend that she's just like, I'm so precious. I'm like Ace. You can just take me and tell me what to do. I'm submissive. No, she's not. No, she's not.
I
She's
am
you still need to say and do things for you to be fully satisfied, or you're gonna be
my
like,
own things.
yeah, 100%. Um,
Yeah, in some areas. Yeah.
because when
Yeah.
I think of that with you, that's me thinking like, then okay, so then Demetrius is good for you.
Uh, no, because his energy doesn't. That's a whole nother
And
thing.
can we just talk about how we? Sorry, what?
What?
Go ahead, go.
Who that is?
No, go. You were gonna say his energy.
No, it's just his energy for me. When I think of being on the borderline, it's like somebody who can be decisive, run a household, make decisions, say what we're doing, blah blah blah. But you always have your influence in the other areas to kind of
Balance. Yeah.
persuade situations. So it is kind of like alpha-ish because you're using what you have to,
Yeah, but
dominate a situation.
you have such an opinion though that it would fly for a little bit. You'd be like, that's cute, and then eventually you would be sick of not being heard.
Yeah.
But can we talk about how we were right about Demetrius?
Oh, Demetrius.
And like they just said it for us this whole episode. Like it was great. You know, we love being right. We do. It's just because it's fun. That's why
He's
we
a
do this.
handful. Yeah,
Like,
he's a lot.
so
He's
I
a
don't
lot.
feel, and it also makes me not feel so guilty then for saying things that I said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. Same here because I gave him a pass in the beginning again because we talked about that stuff of I did my healing, I did the work, I went here and I tried and I grew into it. And so I can honor that. I'll take, but like for me at this point, he's wearing it, even the way he said that, it's like you're wearing it as a badge of, it's not
Entitlement, a
transformation
right
that
to be
happened
the
to
way that
you.
you are, an
Yeah.
excuse to move the way you're going to
It's a
move
cover,
without the growth
correct.
aspect actually being in it.
You know,
Yeah,
it's it's a band-aid over the
It's the
like
phone
it's
case.
not enough.
Yeah.
So it's just, and even when he says it in a way where it's like
You don't
almost
believe it
like it'll
1
make
second.
you crazy if you question that.
Yes.
Oh, why am I saying that? Because I did all the things.
There are so many
You
people
know
like
what I
him in the
mean?
world. There are so many
Mm-hmm.
people like him in the world, and they are
Mm-hmm.
so dangerous. They're so
Man.
dangerous. And you're not like they're gonna kill you, and that's no. And it's dangerous for everybody involved, because then
Yeah.
you're gonna have someone feeding into your false narrative of yourself, and that's ultimately going to turn into destruction, because then there's no cement.
How do you get out of there?
What?
How would you get out of a cycle like that if you're with somebody who perpetuates your terrible cycles and is cool with it
That's
and
on you. You got to
ruminates,
recognize what they're doing, and you need not to get
there's
yourself
nowhere to
involved
go.
with that. Learn, learn.
Oof.
Don't give that life. Don't go into that type of. Don't go date Demetrius. When you see him,
Well,
discernment. Oh, I've learned. I've done you. Bye. I see you. Oh, you trying to talk the talk? No, I know where that's coming from. I see you and hear you. Nice try.
that's right. And you
Like
know who is C, and that is Tina. Go,
100%.
Tina. Go, Tina. Go, 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 go. Follow your gut, girl. Hey, hey, follow your gut, girl. Uh, uh. Okay.
Najee, I have been telling y'all something wasn't right about Demetrius. I can always rate a book by its
Woo!
cover. 100%.
True
We have
colors.
you have definitely been talking the truth about Demetrius. Thankfully, all of us here in this delicious conversation we had, we weren't fooled by Demetrius.
Yeah, I gave him
Sis,
one episode. Even I moved off of that, and that's
I know.
something else. Okay. B, I've been looking forward to hanging with you guys all day. Thank you.
Oh,
I was looking forward to being here and hanging too, honestly.
likewise. Seriously, B.
This is the moment. Yeah, so Demetrius, so that's that on that. Um,
Because then
I don't
what?
even know why. And Joy was kind of right last episode. Like, why are you here? Do you really even like anybody here? Who is he connect? Because it's just
Miss
not.
Cleo, Joy Miss Cleo has been on it this whole time,
She
just
done sniffed him
reading
out
people for
early. Mm-hmm.
filth,
Mm-hmm.
reading the kids, and just it's been
Mm.
delicious. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's the MVP of this season, like
I really like her so
hands
much. She's
down.
such a beautiful human. I
And
really
here,
enjoy.
she's the MVP.
Yeah, she is. Yes.
And once again, I know we are saying what we're saying about Demetrius, and since then he might have learned and grown and see himself
Disclaimer,
coming
we're
out.
gonna have to make a standard disclaimer that we
Yeah,
just post. We
I don't
understand
know where
people could
he is
have
in his
shifted and evolved. This,
maybe
we need a couple
a little
preset
disclaimer.
disclaimers.
Warning,
Oh,
people may have changed as you watch the episode. We are not judging them or using this against them in any way. Please be aware that we love and support everybody's journey and how they act in life, and we want them to be the best versions of themselves. Love and light, Gus and Jaimi.
I'm gonna take that and like I need to run that soundbite every single time we got something to say. Just a disclaimer.
That's it. A little disclaimes, you
Copyright
know?
2022.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. Oh my god, that's funny. All right, let me stop. Oh, that's a mess. Oh Lord, have mercy.
It's
Oh,
hot in here right now.
so
It's so hot.
seeing as how we were talking about joy, um, in the woman's deliberation, she was really uncomfortable with hearing Dakia be like, "Oh, well, he's all touchy, he's all this, and he's all da da da
I
da
would be
da."
too. I would be too.
Oh yeah, but see, what I was thinking when that came up was the energy Clifton was giving Dakia wasn't from an authentic place. So that's why she even said it was uncomfortable at times. They both used that word uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I'm using the word for joy, but so with knowing that context, I don't know if I'd be as, I don't know, annoyed because it's like he was doing it to make a point because he's really like beefy with the X thing. And he intentionally was doing it to get a reaction or see if he was going to get
He
one
was
from,
just there for producers, I think. He was just there for
yeah,
producers and putting on like Laverne was for, you know, the Joy situation.
right.
She needed somebody else. I mean, hello, Eric's gone. She chose to stay on the show. What's her storyline going to be?
I know, who is her other person besides Clifton?
Nobody.
And Clifton is not available. Clifton
No,
is he's not
no.
available.
I wouldn't be surprised if Takia went home next week.
One of them? Oh, if he's the one that went home? Yeah,
Takia.
because Jakia.
Who does she have a
Oh, it's
connection
time
with?
to turn a yeah, it's time to send a girl home.
Nobody.
Hmm.
Nobody, baby.
Yeah. Okay,
Unfortunately,
so
as
let's
much as we
see.
love Stan Takia as well, we
Yeah,
stand
an
Takia.
amazing person, but if that's not, if
Like
it's not
she's
gonna
the other
fit,
VIP, right, on the show. Like
yes, absolutely.
Joy's the VIP, and then like the runner-up VIP is Takia, no doubt.
Yeah.
And just and Takia Joy wins out a little bit on that because she actually has a connection on the show, so it's like fun to watch her move and navigate through this like
Mm-hmm.
real-time situation. And poor Takia is just like, I'm a bomb, I'm here, I'm delicious and divine, and ain't nobody here right for me. But she'll find him.
Basically, she will. He'll find her. She'll
We
find
said this, I
him.
think, already, didn't we? Though I feel like
No, we
we've
because we
already.
were hopeful for Eric for a second. It started to go left last episode,
I,
but we were a little bit leaning towards Eric for a moment. Un
but I do feel
momentito.
like we said that like we're not sure if her person's on this. She
If
might
her
be too
person's
good for
here.
these people.
Yeah, AP, we definitely said that about her too. So maybe Dakia was in there. Yeah, I agree. It
Or
doesn't,
maybe that was just a.
it's not making sense anymore. But what does
Anyway,
make sense, I must say, is Sabrina and Donovan, because I think their chemistry is real. I think that they are,
yeah, I agree with
well,
you.
they definitely want to smash. Like, let's just get that out the way. Like,
They definitely
that's,
look alike in the right way, like a couple does. Like he
yeah.
even said, he's like, we look good together. That's how
And
you always kind of
yes.
know, and it's not like what is it called? Hang on, I have to know what the term turn to my mind. Twincest.
Oh no, I know what you're saying though.
Especially as queers, we love like they love to be like twincest. Like it's literally like you're the same person, you narcissist. And they're like, I know, isn't it great? And I'm like, oh god.
Oh my
But
god.
twincest with them, but you know, when people like are together, you're like, oh, they kind of look alike. Oh, that makes sense. And
Yeah,
it
they
does.
kind of fit. They have that thing. Yeah, they could be cousin brothers, sisters, but they're dating. Um, Dakia has no strong connection outside of Eric. I understand both of their views. It would have gone better with Carmen than her. I thought
Yes.
so at first, but
Absolutely. I mean, Carmen would have been down for that. There would have been no issue. Carmen would have been all down for the mopey and gropey. And that's kind of I think that's why Eric is probably doing this reflecting of self is because he's like, oh my God, how could I not be aware that somebody I might be so into didn't want that, or be drinking so much around somebody that I like to make myself feel, I don't know. Carmen's a whole different beast.
correct. They're two different people.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
Before I forget, I'm just going to go there because my notes are on my phone.
Do it.
Um, at that ladies' lounge, Carmen's outfit was so fire.
Oh, I didn't pay attention. I was looking at her makeup, but I didn't pay attention to the outfit. Was it orange and navy blue? I felt like I
No,
saw some
I don't
orange.
know. It was like colorful. It was like different, like
I missed
color
it.
blocking or something. I don't know. Like it was great.
I
And
missed
even the
it.
next episode, like I've been really enjoying what she wears. And even on her
Ooh.
day we're about to get to, she was like, they look good.
I love her energy
She
always. She's not
cracks
playing.
me
She is
up.
legit.
Yep.
She's legit. She does it for me.
Me well.
Um,
And what was
I'm
the next
trying to look
date?
at all my notes here.
What was the next date?
I'm looking at my notes. So Tori Demetrius, or I'm sorry, Tori on the date with
Oh, we didn't talk about Sabrina as that
Sabrina.
the full thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get Sabrina's whole thing. So the way Tori was acting, he definitely is butthurt. And everybody is right, whoever was saying that his energy is reflect like it changed after the truth or dare. Um, I don't know. I just probably would have rathered he opted out to go. Didn't he just seemed really upset the whole time.
I don't think
Like,
he had a choice. I think production. I think if he had a choice, he wouldn't have gone. He
yeah.
he sounds like it felt like he had to be there. Yeah, there's a part of me that is like, good on you for not forgetting so easily and like trying to have this person earn their space back
He's
into your life. And there's
I
part of
do.
me that's like,
Mhm.
this is a show, you can't be so butthurt. But Baby found the balance. I think that's probably what he's seeking as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, because I'm sure some people be like, he needs to get out of his feelings. No, I think it's actually
Mm.
pretty strong that he's like, hmm, really? And there's nothing with them. There's no energy anymore. And I think he's probably picking up on that. He's not giving it either, but she's too fickle. Like we said last time,
Yeah.
maybe with Donovan, she is ready, but she's just out of her situation.
Yeah.
I can't even, I don't even have a Miss Cleo moment of knowing if her and Donovan would actually work long term. I think they
No,
might
I
just
think
be
they
right
definitely
now.
just want to smash.
Yeah.
Like that, the sexual energy is there. Um,
Now say it was brown, black, and maybe yellow or gold. Wait, the date or the meeting? If it's the meeting, it was cream color, I think. You're
we're back
hilarious.
to
No, it
Carmen's
was,
outfit. I don't
yeah,
remember
Karma's outfit, the ladies' room. It was a
the ladies' lounge.
ladies' lounge. We'll figure it out. I don't
Either
know.
way,
I
she be
saw it and I was like,
dressing.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do agree with you for Tori. It's like, yes, you can't be butthurt, but at the same time, yeah, don't let it go that she really played Jew. She played Jew. You got kind of played. That was a little play
She
moment.
played him.
And yeah,
And
and that's
for her to expect him just to bounce back and be cool with it kind of makes me, I feel like I've been in his place before and somebody else was
mm-hmm.
insensitive to that and just was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? I am. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then you went to another connection. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
you just
never
want
said. Mhm.
That's really selfish, I think, you
Yeah.
know?
And it's a different level of selfish because you should be mindful of self, obviously, when you're dating and move accordingly. But the way it played out just still was.
Yeah. No, but I know.
And then I hated how she was like, oh, is he worried about me kissing blah 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 because he kissed somebody else on a date? I'm like, after the fact, like, girl,
You set yourself up for that. Like, are you that
you think
delusional?
he's just gonna not kiss anybody now after you did all that nibbling and kissing at the truth or dare? Like,
That was
of
really
course
your excuse
he's
to
researching
justify
something
it.
else.
That was her justification.
Yeah, she really was like, oh, well, I heard he kissed somebody else, so what does it matter?
See,
It's like,
that's
girl.
that to me is red flaggy. When somebody uses excuses to avoid their action and justify the fact that did something wrong, red flag.
Yeah,
Red
it's like she
flag.
couldn't wait to toss something back on him. That's the vibe I got. Like, make him wrong. You know what I mean? I ain't really like that because it was just misplaced. Yeah, I wrote Ace is funny, Kayla Verne. Da, 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 da. Okay, so since I think we hit all the dates, and I guess since we're talking
No.
about
What if
all the
there's something?
dates.
There's not a date. We missed a date. We didn't talk about
Savannah.
that guy that I can't stand, his date with we didn't talk in depth
Oh,
about it.
Pio and Pio was he's who said they
He's
seem a
annoying.
little soft. He's
I loved it when they said
yeah, I
for
was just saying he
Carmen, with
seems a little
Carmen's date, he was like
soft.
he seems a little
Yeah.
soft. I was like, oh, that's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what he's over projecting his like to because underneath all of it, he is really soft, and that is such a turn off to me. Like
He
the
needs to, and he might just need a different kind of woman too. Like,
I just can't. Like everything just there's nothing that seems sincere with anything that comes out of his mouth.
yeah,
He gets
I
on my.
think he puts
This
on a
really
lot
bugs
too.
me.
Yeah, I think he puts on a lot too. Oh, yeah. Najee said we missed a date.
Which
I,
one?
I, well, the Carmen Pio and
Well, no.
Marcus, she had quite the table. But then we had Pio with Demetrius, and then Tina and her ex. Would Tina's ex was throwing her under the
Tino.
bus,
That's one.
the
That's what I was
bus
pissed we didn't
hole.
talk about. He like yes, Carmen's ex.
He
You know
did.
what, Najee? Thank you for bringing that up because actually I wanted to talk about that too. I was
Yeah.
surprised that they still aren't together.
I'm sure something had happened, but yeah, they
Like
were.
they
They were.
just seem to fit.
Yeah,
They just seem to
yes.
fit.
I
He
like
knows
him.
her.
He's
She knows
fine.
him. They see each other. They look really good together. They smell like money and success together. Yes, please and thank you. And I'm just like, if he's available, can he come get? Can he get at you?
Yeah, or my mom.
Or your mom? Either one.
My mom would love him, but yes, he'd probably want to date younger.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But yeah, he was fine. Yes, all to that. I agree 100%. But yes, with the Tina, PO, Demetrius, the Carmen and PO, the Carmen and PO date and Tina. I had Tina, PO, Demetrius. But maybe it's because that's what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tina
Yeah,
trusting her
yeah. So
gut.
yeah, so we just we were saying that her ex with Carmen and PO. Yes, that's when he said PO's too soft for you.
Yeah,
That's
that
what he said.
was. Yeah, he
And yeah,
did.
100%.
And that Donovan was a fit. Carmen's friend saw Donovan as a friend. Carmen's
More
ex
of a
saw
fit.
Donovan as a fit. Yeah.
You know what though? Even in that situation, I think her ex was underwhelmed by all the options. I think
By the options, it
he
wasn't.
was just like, ain't none of these people right for you.
And he knows who she's around all the time.
And, and I think that's what he was kind of implying when he was like, she's around ballas.
Right.
Really good looking men and women all day, every day. Are you secure enough for that? And I saw PO just shrink me like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was like, this would be him sitting in the corner at all those events, like.
And then they were like, "What do you do?" He was like a software engineer. And I saw just faces like,
I'm a software engineer.
Not gonna work. And Carmen's like, bop, 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 bop.
And she's like, money, like just throwing dollars and just like, no.
Yeah,
those fake storylines are showing so hard. I'm just surprised that he's still there, but I'm like, who else though?
so surprised
they're kind of
he's still
lacking on
there.
connections this time.
Yeah, it's starting to feel we're not getting
produced. Starting to look at produced.
Gosh,
and keep it going for the season to keep
to
going.
ride out. Maybe they. I'm with you on that because I'm not really feeling the love.
And then Tina.
Yeah, Tina Demetrius PO. Her ex.
He's on one. He's still mad. He's still hurt. I liked it.
Yeah, he put her on blast. Huh?
It was such good TV.
It was good TV. And he was like, she'll cut you off. She broke my phone. Like, and she was like, I had good reason. I'm like, y'all out here doing what everybody does.
Just.
When people go ham.
Going ham. And bacon.
Yeah.
Like frying in the pan. Yeah, I don't know if I really saw that in her or expected that, but then when he said it, I was like, oh, I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked. I definitely
like it didn't throw me for a loop.
I think a lot of women are capable of more than they look when it meets the eye. Like, oh no, she'll go ham.
That hair though, oh, looks so good on her.
Oh, all the curls.
Yeah.
The big curls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look good on her.
It looks so good on her.
Yeah, I like that look on her too. I'll get back to them. I think the ex thought PO isn't in her social circle or can keep up with the topics they'll have outside the orgies. Yeah, there's no way PO would fit into
none of
that vibe. None of it. No. Mm-mm. Yeah,
no.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, those two with her, like, I don't know if I really see Tina with either one of them though, right?
No, but she keeps going towards PO. Even her ex was like PO over Demetrius.
Yeah, but
he picked PO.
Yeah, but the choices are really slim. Like,
yeah, but
you had to say two names of two that aren't going to ever work.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wonder if they'll try to pull that off. Tina and PO working. It just doesn't work. Yeah, none of it. I really want to find something in somebody. It's just not working.
This is like Najee said. I feel like we need to start watching Married at First Sight, so at least we have some more substance through the whole situation. I feel like
all the way through.
Yeah, it's just feeling a little more reduced as we go on, and I'm actually like kind of losing interest in the characters a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't get much. We didn't get what we needed.
It was juicy, but I'm like, all right, but it's produced juicy, right? There's a difference.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, but what's going on next week? What did we see? Oh, before we go to that, I do have in the streets with Twitter, so don't let me forget. But what's up with the Laverne and Sabrina conversation on the way out? I have to admit, I thought Tori would get cut before Laverne got cut because Ace was still a very viable connection. Whereas Tori, who does he have left to connect with? So I was kind of shocked that that's who they sent home. But what did you think about that conversation?
Let's talk about the Tory one first. I feel like the way I felt about Tori this whole time, I think he's ready to love. There's
I
no
think so
doubt
too.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
But is that there for him and any of those women? I'm not having a I'm having a hard time seeing that. So I think
Yes.
they're right. They got that right in the sense of he is ready to love, and I think he's serious
You're right.
about it, and
Mm-hmm.
it shows in the way that he's sensitive and thoughtful and
Mm-hmm.
is um there for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still I'm on his stand for him, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's who is he gonna connect with? Like
That's the reason I was saying, because
I
even
don't.
Dakia was like, oh, he might mess around and be handsome. Like Tori's the guy that grows on you, and you're like, I come
Well,
around and be
maybe
handsome.
them.
You know what I mean?
Maybe it's a
But
kid.
I don't know if I could see Dakia with Tori, but I'm just saying she's
I
tapping
could.
into
I could see her having a fling with a younger man and him be
a
and him.
fling, a fling,
Yeah, like I
a
could see
fling.
them having a fling. I think she would enjoy that because she's like, you should probably secretly a cougar. You know, like she'd be like, oh, this young,
Aren't they the same age?
young gutter.
Kidney snatcher or whatever he goes by.
Oh, kidneys are delicious.
Damn. It's like I hate it and I love it. What's going on? What's happening to me?
And she's a little freaky, so I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't see. I don't know. He's sensitive. I think she likes sensitive men.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a little thing coming up.
They could have a moment if they need to do something, because at this point I don't even know who he'd go out with, and it's over with Sabrina. Like the way he acted, the way the interaction was, unless they both like all that fighting and back and forth and she apologizes and he's like,
She might, but I don't think he
you know what I
does.
mean? You think he's over it because she's playing around? He don't like somebody that can entertain all that energy. He said it. He was like, she got this person, that person. That's a lot of energy. I don't got that kind of energy.
I'm on his page.
Yeah, I'm with him
I
on
don't
that
have
too.
that.
3
I'm not
people is
that
a
person.
lot.
If you're, and that's what I'm saying. It even reminds me of someone in the past. You know, it's like,
Mm,
oh, you can have all these people and be entertained by everybody. We're never going to work because you're
it's
going
too
to always
much.
be seeking all this extra entertainment. I will never be enough for you, and I'm a lot of entertainment. But you're in that space where you need to be able to indulge, but then act like you don't want to. Like it's that
It's just too
Sabrina's a
much
lot
work.
of like, I do this, and then she's like, she really doesn't, or she's like, I don't do this, and she really does. I feel like she's still in that developmental stage of her life where we have this idea and we want to live up to this ideal of who we are, but we just haven't really grounded ourselves in the facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And Najee says Tori needs to control his emotional state more and not do petty things to get back at others. But that's human nature.
You know, I don't think, look, I'm not him, but I don't think he was really trying to get back at her by kissing Homegirl. I think that was really produced, um, and
Yeah.
a good produced of it. There was like, I don't know, but I could be wrong. He maybe genuinely full hearted did it to get back at somebody. That just to me feels a little produced. Um,
Yeah, I
Now
remember that down.
going with Sabrina.
But his emotional state, it was kind of hard to watch in the date.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to
Because it was,
watch.
yeah, it was uncomfortable. Like he's upset.
He didn't want to be there.
Yeah, that's the only thing I
Who
keep
wants
getting
to
is
be there
he
when you're
shouldn't
still
have even
hurt from
been
somebody
there.
and you're watching them just
Yeah.
easily move on and acting like they want you there,
And
but they really don't want you there?
I
Like
really
that shit
don't.
sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. That wasn't working for
Like
me.
that's horrible. You know what
Horrible.
really bothered me? That Sabrina was really insensitive to it.
But that's what goes back to what you're saying. Like, oh, I do this, but I really don't, and I know, and there's a level of almost an unhealthy detachment from that, because she is okay with justifying the way that she moves, and it's like you should justify the way that you move, but when it's on that both sides of things, like how you're saying, like I'm doing it, but then I'm doing something else, that makes it gamey. That makes it feel like a game. It makes it feel disingenuine. It makes it hard for us to see her actually connecting to this stuff on an
Anyone.
emotional level, because she's not this. I feel what you're saying. Okay, so I missed this comment before. I love
Oh,
the energy Laverne walked in with. He is the first person to give an honest person reaction. You kicking me out, I don't need to play sweet and lovely for the cameras.
that's exactly how I felt, and I didn't think you were going to agree with me, Najee. I thought you were going to try to fight and and be all the old soul that you are and try to justify. I was nope. I felt the same exact way, and you know what? I felt the same way about one of my favorites from last season. Well, my favorite of last season, but he's one of my favorites from this season, Laverne. My favorite from last season, Sabrina. She came and she was like, what are you trying to do?" And I thought it was really interesting the dynamic of how that was handled.
Mm.
The whole dichotomy between like man and woman, woman and man. Laverne was made to look like a really bad guy. Sabrina wasn't made to look like a villain, if that makes sense. And it made me like think like we need to stop talking about each other so negatively and be like, that. I don't know. To me it was like rhetoric to keep the conversation going and be like, that's that kind of guy. That's that guy. That. And it's like he stood up for himself. How dare it? If a woman stands up for herself, that's amazing. But if a man does, it's like ignorant. I don't know. I liked that he handled it himself accordingly. How did you feel about that?
You
And do
know,
you think that
I'm
rumor's true?
that's what I'm saying. I have so many things going on in my brain right now. Like I'm hearing you talk, I'm going back to Sabrina, I'm going to the reactions, like I'm seeing it all. So since you asked me if I thought the rumor was true, um, I thought that would have been an opportune time for Laverne to ask about it. And I think that was the part of the exit that I didn't like, that he kind of entered with a preconceived notion. And when it's hearsay, I don't know who he heard it from or how valid whatever was, but it could have just been, I guess, a more of an opportunity to ask and clarify. But maybe he really felt like he knew what he knew. Maybe he got it from a source that was, you know what I'm saying? So I can't, that's the part where I can't say, but
You and I have
when
these
you ask
conversations about
me,
Sabrina, though. We're already having these conversations about Sabrina. We see how she's
mm-hmm,
moving secretly.
mm-hmm,
I think he's very aware of Sabrina.
right.
Possibly, who knows? I could be completely wrong, but there's something about
Yeah,
it that
maybe
makes me
he
think
don't,
like he knows
mm-hmm.
who she is,
Maybe
he
he's
know how
picking
she
up on
plays,
that and is
and
like,
she's trying to be once again like, I don't do that. I don't do that. Hey, look, I'm not also throwing something at her that she did or she didn't do. That's not my job. It's just an observation I'm making from the show from a couple of times when she's been that. We've had these conversations. So not that any woman should ever feel that type of way from a man, whether it's intentional or not. If she felt that offended and hurt from him, I'm not justifying that, but there's something about it that seems a little off in the sense of it just coming out of nowhere and him just being really ignorant and mean and over emasculating. Like it's something about it, like another behind the scenes, something really could have been. And it feels like that in the ladies' lounge. It feels like those people are trying to get him out. I've felt that for weeks. I would be frustrated too, especially if he really does have a connection with Joy.
with Ace.
Ace. I always mix the
Yeah,
names up.
no, it's okay. I got you. We a team.
Thank you.
Um, it's like I can definitely see all that, and I can definitely tell that when it comes to Laverne in many of these episodes, we're not getting the full picture. We're not. I was saying that last week about when the guys blew up on him. Like, yes, it could have been annoying or whatever, but for that level of reaction, there's something we're not seeing. Now we're here with Sabrina, and there's another level of a reaction that indicates there's something we're not seeing. And that's why it's really hard for me to put, yeah, it's hard for me to put my finger on it. And I can only like literally go by what I see. So that's why I'm playing both sides of the fence. Like, okay, the rumor could have been real. He could have got it from a valuable and reliable source. And so he went in there guns blazing because he already knew what was up, or it would have been an opportune time for him to ask so he could address the exit situation with a little more Laverne. Because we didn't get a sayonara from Laverne like we could have gotten had there been more presence in the both of them during that conversation. So I'm not mad at him sticking up, but I wonder if it would have been different if they had a conversation about the rumor. So there was maybe a little more. Or am I asking, or am I thinking,
I like that he came in hot. I thought it was good
okay.
TV, and I think that's the way, like that's fun for TV. Like he came in hot, and you
Yeah, he
know
was
what? I
done with
keep
all
thinking
these
back
hoes.
on past episodes. I feel like they have had it out for Laverne.
Well,
They
because
have.
he's
Those
not.
women have. Because he's not giving them time and energy. He doesn't
Yeah,
have to. Like, they are trying to play that
it's
up
different.
so hard. I would
Hmm.
be pissed and lit too. I'd be sick of pretending that it's not an issue, especially knowing he knows what he's coming to sit into.
He
He knows
does.
this what day this is. He knows what
Hmm.
this is going to be about. And then to throw the one that's been like trying to get me out for a minute, that hasn't really been moving with integrity and honestly, possibly behind the scenes, what I'm trying to say. For
Hmm.
it just I would he could have definitely handled himself with more class, but I thought it was such good TV.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I completely get it. And then I'm even thinking about Sabrina, because what did she say? She kind of justified them not ever linking up too. I don't remember what she said.
Another justification that shouldn't, like,
Like, how
another false one.
blindsided was she really? You know what I'm saying?
Come
Because it
on.
almost gives me the vibes that Demetrius gave last episode when he sat down with Joy. You know what you're coming down here to do. I know what you're coming down to do because me and you will never be on a date. But you want to start the conversation. I don't know. I'm trying to see what's up with you. Like, don't bull me right now. Let's get to it.
You listen to the producers to what you did exactly what the producer said to do, as opposed to really bring yourself to the situation. The producer said, "This is what you're gonna do. This is what the scenario needs to encompass, and this is what we're gonna take." And you
Mm-hmm.
literally just went and did the same thing, as opposed to really bringing the authentic situations in.
Right.
And that's why someone
Yeah.
like Joy would be like,
Right.
"You
And that's
coming at this from
probably
a really fake place," and that's kind of what
and
Sabrina
that's
was
what
doing
Sabrina,
too.
and
She was
that's
coming from a really
exactly
fake
like
place, and he
really
was like,
fake play. And he was like, "Come on, bro. We already."
100%. That's probably why she got so triggered and walked off, because she knew.
Yeah, she wanted
She wanted to
because she agreed
validate
to
and
the
win, but
yeah, because she agreed to the performance. She wanted a co-star that would do the same, and he wasn't on the same script. He
yeah.
was like, "I'm improving this. I'm not playing nice with you today, little girl."
He said yes and
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
um and
That was a lot.
I didn't think he was really disrespectful. Did you? Am I missing something? Like, did he call her out her name or anything like that?
I just think no, he wasn't disrespectful in that type of manner. He was upset, so and he acted like it. That's all I could really say. I
Because I
think
think men like that act like that. He might be being dragged through the mud right now in the streets. But
yeah,
if
he
a
might feel
woman were to do that, they would be being they would be like on it. They'd be like, yes, go on, girl. But when he does it, like, that's we're
hmm.
in such a weird place in this world where it's just people want to do one thing to get their own needs, but if somebody else does it that they don't like it from, then it's wrong. It's just there's just so much confusion in this whole consciousness right now. You know what I mean?
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And I would have I get what you're saying. Yeah. If the shoe was on the other foot, it would be, a woman standing up for herself and speaking her truth. And I think,
And I would give her a round of applause,
yeah,
just like I did for him
yeah,
for him standing up for himself and speaking his truth.
yeah, that's what he felt like. That was where he was at with it. And I'm not mad at it. Damn. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even really. That was a
Like,
little
I feel like
action
people will
packed
try to
at the end. That
cancel
was a
me for
lot.
saying that. You know what I mean? Like, people will try to be like, cancel him because he stuck up for her, and I'm like, him, and I'm like, are we not are we really are we really do we have 2020 people? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I really
and then
don't
I
even
would
know what to
blame
say. I'm
Najee
like
because he's the
playing
one that
it in my
started and
head.
agreed. But
It's not Jay, it's your fault. The rumor he said that Precious told him he wasn't being disrespectful. Okay, he said that Precious told him
yes, he did.
that
Did we say that already or no?
I don't know.
Maybe I thought it. But yes, because yeah, he said Precious
Hmm.
told him that rumor. Yeah, and I feel like that's some shit Precious would do. No, I feel like Precious would be like, and just so you know, these
Right.
girls,
Just so you know.
just so you know, these girls been trying to throw you under the bus. You shouldn't have sent me home. Like, I feel like I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she definitely would do something like that.
Yeah.
B, thank you. He wasn't being
Yeah,
disrespectful.
he
I
wasn't
didn't think so
disrespectful.
either.
It's so weird how we use these
But that guy,
terms and have these ideals
yes.
and so much. It's just that's kind of what has me in my head right now. Like even when you said it and brought it up, like, I didn't think about I do remember how Sabrina snapped off a little bit. But then sometimes if you're a woman in that position, it's messed up because then you're the bitch. You're the woman who's to this, to that. So when you speak your mind and tell your truth, so it's two sides of the coin because it's like sometimes it's yeah, girl, speak your mind, tell your truth, but the other time it's like, she's so demanding. She's such a bitch. She's so catty. Any other words that we. So it's just such a weird. It has me in a little trip right now. Like, how does this work? What are we doing?
I think it depends on the place it's coming from. Because like last week with Joy,
Yes.
when Joy came hard, it wasn't catty. It wasn't bitchy.
Right.
She came hard still.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like Laverne was being catty or bitchy. He came hard still.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't calling her out her name.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing up for himself. Joy was standing up for herself last week. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're just supposed to be like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Right. Like Ace.
Exactly. But she's not really that
No,
way.
I know. No, Ace was cutting up this. I was like, I hear all your little ad libs back there, girl. You funny. You got mouth up back there. What you talking about,
100%.
Ace?
I really enjoy Ace,
Yeah.
the
What
real
you
Ace.
talking about, girl?
Will the
Yeah.
real Ace please stand up?
I
Please
saw
stand
more
up.
of
Please
myself in
stand
Ace
up.
this episode. I was like, oh, we be in the back.
Yep, 100%. Yep. And then go to yoga afterwards because you feel bad about yourself. Go meditate
And
on that
still
for a
keep
second. And then in your meditation, be like, that
be
bitch
like,
said this.
girl, you remember that? Like, yep. Like, Lordy, no. But I'm not gonna say nothing. Not gonna say.
It's like someone cutting it up in church.
I, I see you, Ace. We got a little more in
Mm-hmm.
common than you
Mm-hmm.
think. Precious doesn't come across as a liar or a messy queen. She gave him a heads up because she knew how conniving they are. Demetrius proved that to her and they went for it. I get that. I'm
I'm with you
seeing a
on that
lot of that with this
100%.
episode. Yeah.
100%.
This cast is like that. It's a little more,
Yep. Well, we had that
you know
from
what I'm
the
saying?
Magic Black Girl Squad, whatever it was called last with,
But that was like 3 against 4. Now we got all these individual
first one.
picks.
Yeah, we have groups
Yeah.
versus one. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's starting to feel
But
everybody's
it
really
wasn't
one
supposed to be
off.
3 against 4. I think they were just trying to be like last season. They were just trying to be against anybody that wasn't in their group, and it ended up being everybody else that wasn't, which was 3. So,
Yikes.
but yeah, we definitely are seeing that messy behavior happening, and I agree with them. Yeah, I don't think Precious, as crazy as Precious is,
Yeah,
like in the
she
best way
doesn't.
possible, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
she's messy and gonna make shit up. I think she holds herself at too high of a level of integrity. I
Yeah,
just get
I
that from
agree.
her.
Yeah, that makes sense. It didn't seem like her intention through any of it. So I get that for sure.
Disclaimer, once again, we don't know these people personally, so what we say should be taken with a grain of salt. Don't judge us, don't hate us, don't cancel us, or else we'll hate and cancel you back. Goodbye, thank you so much. Bless you, have a great day. Love and light. Jaimi and Gus.
Namaste.
Namaste. Keep talking about this.
Right.
So
Namaste and keep
Laverne got
talking.
sent home, right? And I want to do one thing because I remembered it. When that producer was like, yo man, you should just apologize to her. Why?
Oh yeah, he was like, no.
He was like, what? And I'm like, why? What is he gonna? I mean, unless there's stuff that we didn't see, of course.
Man,
If
oh, it's
apology
just
was due,
so
great. But I was just like,
right. But for what we saw,
why?
I don't know. That's a tough one because
Would
I
a
think
producer have said that to a woman that was saying that to a man?
well, did they came to Dante's aid last time? Did they know? Did they check on Dante after homegirl nosed him?
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
even still then, she got off. She got off with that. It's like she
True.
escaped prison.
Oh,
Like
ooh.
nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it. Like it
They
was kind
didn't
of like,
take it
oh,
where
that
it could
never
have
happened.
gone.
If
Yeah.
that was a man, it would have been a whole different situation.
Oh, it would have been a movement.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't
All
know.
right.
We're in a weird place. This is, a little interesting thing. Pio still deserves to be thrown off the balcony.
Ooh, thank you.
Oh.
Shit, I should be saying thank you to that. There is just something. It's hard. It's really hard to watch. Yeah.
You get this one.
Laverne didn't curse or get disrespectful. Oh, girl just couldn't handle being checked or called out. She got aggressive and used her womanhood to spin the narrative. No need for a long conversation. I agree with you.
When
So no
kicking,
problem. And
eliminating someone
I'm
that
gonna
knows the
blame
outcome.
your ass. When kicking, eliminating someone that knows the outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guess that's what had
Najee,
happened. He
I'm
was like, "Don't be trying to."
Najee did it.
Najee did it. Well, with that being said, we might as
Najee
well
did it. Let's go to
take
the
it to
streets where
the
they're actually brutal.
streets. Let's see what we got up in here. Because when Twitter gets a hold of a little something, they don't hold back. They're
They sure
relentless
don't.
about the way they show up and talk. First up,
Oh
the
my god.
minute Laverne said, "I know what this is," I would have been like, "You know what? You're right. You're not ready to love. Good night." And that could have worked too. Like, oh, you know what this is? Well, so sorry about that. Da-da-da. Like, you ain't even got to fake the funk, Sabrina. You don't even got to
You don't even
play the
gotta fake the
role.
funk. But she likes we already talked about before that too. I think she likes to play the role and fake the funk a little bit. We've been noticing that with Sabrina.
You know what?
Um
I think it's been working for her.
oh it does. She's pretty. Of course it does.
Yeah, she's
She's
really
gotten away with it
cute.
her whole life.
She's a,
Um what was I gonna say about that though? I forgot I think. Damn it. What were we just talking
Sabrina getting away with.
about? I lost it.
Oh, Laverne. Oh, it could have been short and sweet. Like, I know what I'm here for. I don't know. You'll get it back. You'll get it back. But until then, let's go to the
The
next.
streets.
Laverne is doing the most. Hashtag ready to love. Look at that face. It's the gifts that get me. Like
So good.
he was lit. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He was lit. It was
But I knew that was
entertainment.
gonna be the streets. I knew they were gonna try to be like, he was doing the most. I knew they were gonna go for it. And I was like, here we go.
Y'all, Gus already knew about y'all. From Tasha Mack, Eric thought he could do Dakia how he does Carmen, and he was sadly mistaken. Hashtag ready to love.
100%. Here's the thing with that too. It's like, yes, Carmel would have ate that up and they would have,
Yeah, and just been all like into
oh,
it.
they
She,
would have went
you
home
know.
together. They had a great time. But here's the thing. I do realize Takia, like, she does get a little sexual and stuff like that. So she has in
Mm-hmm.
episodes, she has been a little
Mm-hmm.
more forthcoming with those things. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe he read the situation wrong, but I don't think he was misplaced because it's not like she. I'm not trying to backtrack what I said earlier because saying like he should have known better, but she does speak like that and she does have that energy, but so it's not like it came out of nowhere. Do you hear what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and because I don't know the extent of the action, I can't
And
really,
that's what it is.
because yeah, it
We don't
really.
know. We think something's being held back. Like something else went down. It was more than that. And that's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, thank you, James. Is
Yeah.
because she has been flirtatious and vocal about sexual things.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have been just him touching her a little bit. Like it had to have been really bad. Like they left out the juice, like we said earlier, for this to really be
Yeah.
happening.
For her to be that adamant, I'm just wondering, it just makes it so tough to comment on because what you're saying, I get too, because that crossed my mind. Like, well, you do seem fun and comfortable with a certain level of things because there's even been things that she said that I probably wouldn't say. And it's not because I'm any whatever,
No,
but I
you're
just,
prude. You're prude, and she's not prude. 100%. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not prude, but there's levels and layers. I got to be knowing people a little more. Like at these times, no, I probably wouldn't have said, that exactly. But yeah, it's like, I'm wondering, this is what makes it hard for men. Where did he get misconstrued? That's why I brought in
The
the
alcohol.
alcohol. There's just so many
We don't know.
nuances.
That could
You
be
know
like
what
a
I'm
case of some
saying?
shit we shouldn't be talking about it because maybe it's like some deep shit and people
Yeah,
just not throw it on the
so I
rug.
just, I honor the way it went down because again, back to Dakia's character, she would have never put it like that if I feel like if it didn't need to be put that way.
hundred
So it
percent.
just is like, it is what it is. I don't,
Yeah.
and homeboy, feels like he has some reflecting to do as well. So
100%.
that's
It's definitely, like we've said many times this episode, more than we know.
so much more is going
Yeah.
on. Joy's ex has nailed it. Ready to Love. Yeah, I would say at the end when he really wrapped it up, he was coming from a
He,
good perspective and he was clear about what he
yeah,
saw and how he felt.
100%. Nailed
That was
that.
good. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, Sean.
One of our favorite gifts. Ooh, Clifton came in hot.
He sure.
And the way he walked up, he was just like, I ain't giving no, what's up? Like, exes, we doing exes again? Like,
It was kind of sexy.
that's very masculine to me. So
Love it.
manly.
But here's the thing. What I gather from that too is like, if I were that into somebody like they are, you wouldn't be walking into the situation with any concern. You'd be very aware of what that ex is to me. And
Oh, under.
if you were aware, because we communicated about it, you wouldn't have to come in like that. And if you still came in like that, then Joy's ex was very much warranted to say the things that he said. You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah,
it would be force.
correct. It did seem like, I think when Clifton first walked up, he thought he was getting alone time. So it did seem like he was thrown off. But I also believe that he has a real issue with exes. And to be honest, if you bring in any part of your past, which part of it should be for wisdom, if it really doesn't work for you, then I feel like he really has a problem with it. Just at his core. I don't even know what happened on the show, if he was set up this or that, but he don't like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if I was Joy, I would be taking note. Because if you plan on being with this man, don't be of course, keep it real with who you are, but this ex thing seems like a sensitive, something needs to be.
I really like how she said that we would be standing on the edge together, willing to jump.
Oh, yeah. They're in love already, so I don't even know
100%.
like they're already together. Like, yeah, so. Was
No
that
more
all
streets?
the ones that I had? Nope, that was all the ones that I had.
Oh, the streets.
Yes. So I'm looking at comments. Nache and V are talking. So I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything before we head out. I've actually been good, and I've been going to bed at like decent times. Like I'm almost past. Yeah, I've been doing good. So I'm a little delirious and ready to
I support that. Go to bed.
Wind it down. But this was fun. I'm glad we got it in. We will see you guys next Friday. Thanks for tuning in like always. And
peace and love disclaimers.
Peace and love disclaimers.
And Tams.